Alright, so I'm in between projects right now, and what I wanted to do was just create a short video for you guys to show you what I do to remove rust from parts. So I've done this on tools, do it a lot with these railroad spikes when I make projects with them. So basically all you need is a container, some white vinegar, distilled white vinegar I got here, and your rusty part or piece. So what I'm going to do is take my rusty parts here, my white vinegar, combine those in this metal bucket here, let it sit for 24 hours, double check to see if it's getting rid of the rust with a wire brush. If it's not, let it sit a little bit longer. So just know that this is a good way to get some of this stuff done if you don't need it right away, or for complex parts like this where we need to not only get them clean, but make them ready to weld. So getting all this rust off keeps the particles out of the air so you don't breathe them, and makes it easy to clean up when we're done. So let's go ahead and get started. If you find this helpful, go ahead and leave a like and a comment down below, and subscribe if you think I earned it today. So we're just going to add a handful of these. I think I'm going to need about 2, 4, 6, about 12 of these for the project I'm doing. So we're going to go ahead and put those in there. We'll then take our distilled white vinegar. Doesn't have to be Heinz, whatever works for you, and whatever's the cheapest. And then you just want to fill this up until you have them completely submerged. So we're just going to pour some of this in here, and we'll just dump the whole thing in there. All right. So if I tip this a little bit so we can see in there a little bit, see we got some railroad ties in there. They're all completely submerged. And what I will do is I'm going through this is every 6 to 8 hours, come and just kind of slosh the water around, move the railroad ties around just to make sure we're not having any spots where those pieces are touching that's not getting the vinegar added to it.
Later.
All right, so we are about 12 hours in or so, and you can see that this stuff is bubbling up pretty good. A lot of that rust is floating to the surface. That's why I kind of like to come in here, shake it around, move the water around. But if we look, we can see that rust is starting to come off pretty well. So we're going to let it sit for another 12 hours or so, and then we're going to come with the wire brush and clean it up and see what we get.
The next day.
It's been about 36 hours or so. I forgot to take this and clean it up last night, but we can see now that that vinegar is now completely black. And if we pull out one of these real quick before we start to clean them off, we can see they are much cleaner than they were. So what I'm going to do now is take these, rinse them off with the hose, and then just hit them quickly with the wire brush, and you'll see how much cleaner they are just by letting them sit for a day or day and a half in some white vinegar. So let's get to it. Alright, so here's the final results. Here's what they started looking like, and here's what they look like after treatment. So the reason I do this is because it saves me a ton of time where, I mean, you saw it took maybe 30-40 seconds a piece to kind of clean these up and get them ready where they're good to weld. And secondly, it just keeps a lot of the stuff out of the air in my shop where I don't have to breathe it in. So I think it's just a little safer and a little better long run for me. But that's my solution for the easiest way to remove rust from parts and old tools by using distilled white vinegar. you know, just let it sit in there. Then all you have to do is rinse it off, and it's good to go. The one thing you do need to be a little cautious of is that there are some spots where if you don't get all the vinegar off right away, it can flash rust on you because it is acidic, so it brings it down to bare metal. So just be aware of that when you're doing this. And if you let these sit around in a, you know, humid environment, they could get some surface rust, but still this is very easy to clean off, where most of it just came off with my thumb, and if I take a Scotch-Brite pad, it'll come off. So as always, like the video, subscribe and leave a comment below and let me know what you think of this, and give it a try, and you know, hopefully it'll work as well for you as it did for me. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.